Good evening and welcome to Match of the Day, back again on Saturday night. And we shall be with you on quite a few Saturdays between now and the end of the season, and of course with Match of the Day live on selected Sunday afternoons. And if you joined us tonight, I can tell you, you're in for a treat. The programme emphasises the drama of managerless Birmingham City, desperately trying to shrug off boardroom changes, an enormous debt, diminishing crowds and Ron Saunders' resignation. They play Canon League champions Everton. While across the city, Nobby Stiles, just 20 years after the most exciting moment of his life, finds himself trying to breathe life and hope into struggling West Bromwich Albion as they take on Chelsea in peak form. But we start with a classic match between Nottingham Forest and Canon League leaders Manchester United, who haven't won the championship since 1967, but come success or failure, rain or shine, the faithful United supporters turn up in numbers that are the envy of every club in the league. Among today's throng, your commentator, John Watson.
The first chance for a nationwide audience to witness the team which has led the First Division for the entire 5 months of the season so far. Manchester United won their first 10 games, were unbeaten in their first 15, and although their lead has been cut from 10 points to 5, they've been watched here by average crowds of over 48,000. There's a newish face in the ranks, with Colin Gibson having been signed from Aston Villa in November. He's scored 3 goals in the last 7 matches, and his midfield role will be more central today with the return to the side of Jesper Olsen. He replaces Clayton Blackmore, that's the only change. 20-year-old Billy Garton continues in defence, although Paul McGrath should be fit for next week's cup tie at Sunderland. And it's expected that Danish international fullback John Severbeck will be here in 2 weeks' time. Forest's long injury list grows. They bring in 18-year-old Gary Fleming at right back because Ian Butterworth is ill. They've lost Gary Birtles with a groin strain, so Johnny Method switches to centre-back, and there's a return at number 7 for 19-year-old Franz Carr, who put in some exciting performances on the wing before Christmas. Referee this afternoon, John Key from Rotherham. His 2 linesmen are Arthur Adams of Southport and Phil Wright of Northwich. Rain has been falling in Manchester most of the day, and it's still coming down at kick-off. Forest playing in a change strip of all yellow from right to left, and Franz Carr already testing out Arthur Orbiston and getting away from him. Here comes Webb. Played back inside for Fleming, the right back. Was Walker on Hughes. Whiteside didn't take the kick from the right place. John Key from Rotherham. Strachan into Whiteside. Play on to the referee. Garton with the cross. Stapleton's coming in, and he got away from Method into an unchallenged position, but it just floated over him. It was quite nicely set up, that. Billy Garton involved, and Stapleton got away from his marker. That's Davenport. Out to Carr. That's going to be quite a tussle, Carr and Orbiston. And Clough, the manager's son, but referee had already given handball. Gordon Strachan. Kidman. Offside. Franz Carr came from Blackburn Rovers, where he didn't get into the first team. This is Davenport. Now it's Williams and Walsh. And they're trying to stay onside here. Moran. Olsen. Strachan. And the referee had already penalised Ian Bowyer for the first challenge before Brent Williams came in on Jesper Olsen. So, a free kick to Manchester United. Aimed towards Whiteside, it came off Bowyer. And then Walker to Williams. Garden. Bowyer. Clough. Davenport. This is 2 against 2. In fact, Forest have got an extra man now. Good running in the middle by Webb here. It's Carr on the ball. Away from Ulverston. Davenport couldn't collect, and Clough with the shot. Carr again giving Manchester United something to think about, but the move from which Clough finally had the shot began with Manchester United getting outnumbered when their own movement broke down. It's a well-known Brian Clough tactic, that has been down the years. Here's John Gidman. Whiteside's made a run down the right to pick up Strachan's pass. Des Walker took in, Whiteside kept back a little. And the Forest players have come across because the referee is going to talk first to Walker, who did perpetrate the initial challenge. Whiteside shifting his position in there, trying to shake them off. And he did, and there was a deflection on the header, and they got away with it, Forest, for now. And Garton puts it in, and Sutton has to save, almost at full stretch. And it's still in play. Jesper Olsen. Hughes, no, it's Method. Well played by Webb. Here's Williams. And now it's Walsh. He's got Davenport, Clough, Webb and Bowyer in the centre. And Carr's coming in now on Bailey. Quarter of an hour left in the first half. No score. Here's Gidman. And now Strachan. It began to open up for him there. Olsen's on the far side. Gibson's arriving now. Well, Manchester United will want to make something of this spell. This is Carr. Webb. Davenport. Oh, and a chance for Walsh, and a goal. Hesitation in the Manchester United defence, and Colin Walsh takes advantage a minute before half-time. They only had themselves to blame. The danger didn't seem to be there until that hesitation allowed Walsh to drive his shot beyond Bailey. There didn't seem to be a slight appeal on Bailey's part, as if he thought there might have been a case of hands, but it's a goal to Forest. And we're now coming up to half-time. This is Clough. Offside flag was up there. Nottingham Forest, in typical fashion, have stolen a goal on the break after resisting everything that Manchester United could push at them at the other end, and that's how it is at half-time. The goal coming really at a mistake by Colin Gibson, who'd gone back into the penalty area and didn't get the ball away properly. And the other Colin, wearing number 11, Colin Walsh, finished it nicely for what is in fact his third goal in consecutive games. Half-time, Manchester United 0, Nottingham Forest 1. This could be a most important 45 minutes now in Manchester United's season. They may feel there was a touch of hands about the Walsh goal, but that's history now. They're one down on a day when most of the other championship contenders were winning at half-time elsewhere. Lots been said about the absence of Brian Robson, but one ought to say that Nottingham Forest are without a number of first-choice players, especially in defence, and have coped admirably in their absence so far. Whiteside. Johnny Method has looked pretty calm in that centre-half position. Forward by Whiteside, and here's Gibson. He found some space there, and Brett Williams brought him down. Penalty in the first minute of the second half. Brett Williams on Colin Gibson. Well, Gibson will feel an awful lot better about the Forest goal if this goes in at the other end. Johnny Method is debating the decision because Forest obviously felt Williams went for the ball. But Manchester United get their fair share of penalties in home games. And it's going to be a question of whether Jesper Olsen can take the responsibility here. And he can. They changed the penalty taker. Whiteside missed the last one against Arsenal, and Olsen obliged today. The equaliser comes at a very, very good time for the championship leaders and their supporters. That's really brought the game to the boil now. If there was debate about the legality of Walsh's goal, Forest in turn may contest the penalty award, but it would make it even anyway now. Hughes trying to hold off Des Walker, who stuck to him well. Forward by Strachan to Hughes. Kidman's up on the overlap. Strachan is back inside now here. Driven wide, Jesper Olsen. Inside. For Albiston and a deflection, brilliant save by the goalkeeper, and Williams was a bit lucky. He almost got sucked in as Hughes came in. And Manchester United suddenly get their game going. But Steve Sutton in goal there produced a gymnastic twist because there was a deflection on that, and that's the second time he's made that kind of save. Stapleton, Gibson, Hughes to his right, Olsen to his left here. Well, that was Fleming on Olsen, corner this time. Referee turning down appeals for a second penalty. And there's Stapleton. Garton came in behind him, but they're certainly packing that near post. Here's Bowyer. Offside. Walsh. Moran and Garton. Hughes to Strachan. Method's clearance, but Nottingham Forest got quite a lot of defending to do yet. Kidman to Whiteside. Stapleton. Strachan. Good cross, and a chance for Olsen! Manchester United take the lead after 67 minutes, and Jesper Olsen gets his second goal of the match to mark his return to the first team. It was made by Strachan, the other diminutive forward on the right, who got the cross in. It went beyond the crowd of players in the centre, and Olsen finished that in style. So, Manchester United come from behind to take the lead. So Olsen is now on a hat-trick. And this is Gidman. Strachan. Well, he's been accused of inconsistency since coming over here, Jesper Olsen, but he certainly made his mark today. Davenport. He got away to Davenport, and Garton's tackle, and no penalty. The Forest supporters behind the goal appealing, so did one or two players there, as Davenport initially got away from Kevin Moran. It was Garton that came in with the second challenge. Davenport went down, and Forest were hopeful of a penalty at that end, which didn't come. So the score remains 2-1, and Manchester United breathe again. Olsen. Strachan. It's Walker who intercepted. Davenport. And that looked as if there might have been an offside there, but the flag isn't up and Walsh is through. And against the post and in. Nottingham Forest pull it back to 2-2 after 82 minutes. Brian Clough off the bench with delight, and Colin Walsh got away with the defence seriously undermanned on that flank and finished with a cross shot which went in off the post. So Walsh gets his second of the match, and Manchester United find themselves in danger of dropping points. Only 8 minutes left, and the score now 2 apiece. So, in a sense, they're starting all over again. But it reflects what a dangerous side Nottingham Forest are on the break, and how they've refused to get completely played out of this match, even when they went behind. So the Nottingham Forest supporters have an equaliser to celebrate. Hughes. Olsen. Right side's lost it, and Davenport away, with Clough making a determined run to his left through the centre. Carr up on this side, still Davenport. And still United don't clear it. Webb. And Garton has to concede. Well, these are anxious moments for Manchester United supporters. Played into Webb. Awkward, and Clough was at the far post, and it's 3-2. Nigel Clough may have given his father and his team a win bonus here. The corner was played in short to Webb, and when the ball was recrossed, Clough was at the far post to nod a goal, which makes it 3-2 to Nottingham Forest. And Manchester United fans won't need reminding that in the match we televised between the two sides last season, Forest won with a last-minute goal to take it to 3-2, and it may have happened again. Colin Walsh got 2 goals for Nottingham Forest. Jesper Olsen scored 2 for Manchester United. But it was the last-minute winner by Nigel Clough. But Manchester United have reason to feel hugely disappointed when you think that they were 2-1 ahead and conceded, from their point of view, 2 bad goals.
Now, what a fine game that was, and credit to both sides for providing it. I know that's not much consolation for United, for whom Jesper Olsen provided some magic moments. But I did like the look of the new Forest. 17-year-old Brett Williams gave the penalty away in a moment of panic, but was otherwise cool and enterprising. Method was a giant. Webb and Davenport, blossoming talents, and Walsh's finishing spoke for itself. But young Nigel Clough showed touches beyond his years, constantly causing United problems and finally winning the match with a header that Dad couldn't have bettered. I knew there was talent in the family somewhere. Seriously though, well done Forest. And by the way, congratulations to John Key, the referee, for making 3 borderline penalty decisions as accurately at first glance as the rest of us might make with 10. Well, that blow for United gave Everton and other chasing clubs the chance to close the gap on the leaders. On the face of it, Everton would have relished the visit to St Andrews to play luckless Birmingham City. But with all their problems, Birmingham's approach was spirited and their fans supportive. Your commentator, Barry Davis.
What greater challenge could Birmingham face at the end of their traumatic week than a visit from the league champions? The future for a club 2.25 million in debt and losing around £7,000 a week could hardly be more bleak, and it shows. They need crowds of 14,000 to break even, and their last 2 home games have each drawn less than half that number. But today's faithful at St Andrews have not come to bury their team, but to raise them, praying that this lineup will improve upon a record which has brought just 2 points from their last 48. Acting manager Keith Leonard has made 3 changes from Tuesday's starting team, recalling Billy Wright, Tony Rees and the fit-again Wayne Clark. Everton welcome back one of last year's key midfield players, Trevor Stephen, while another, Peter Reid, begins his comeback in the reserves. But in spite of many changes in midfield and in defence, up front, Sharp and Lineker have between them totaled 38 goals for the league's top scorers. And on a breezy afternoon, the referee, John Deacon, gets the match underway. And where non-leaguers Altrincham and 8 previous league sides have succeeded, surely the league champions will as well. Or is football that funny again? It's the first touch for Neville Southall. And you could say it's crowded in midfield. Everybody around the centre circle. Armstrong and Sharp. Lineker looking for the nod down, but there was never really a chance. And a bit of pushing. Pointon again. That's not a good clearance. And that's not a bad try. Robert Hopkins, the hero and villain of the piece. He's the man, of course, who scored initially against Altrincham and then put through his own goal for the winner. Right. The fifth pass that found the opening. Ransom. And the corner given. Hopkins looking through the crowd. Harper. Clark. Well, it was an opportunity. Been out of the game for a couple of months. I think we'll be a little bit disappointed he didn't get that on target. Plenty of smiles at the moment. Vanden Hauwe. Sharp at the second time of asking, and the ball was held for a moment. That plus a push produces the free kick. He's poised for the first run. So far, everybody on the far side. Now they come across. And it was Hagen who got his head to it first. Heath's come forward. And comfortably in by Gary Lineker. And Lineker unmarked on the far post. It's his 23rd of the season. Well, they really rather fell for that because Heath came away from the near post and Lineker too was unmarked on the far post and nodded in. A slap in the face for Birmingham City, who was certainly at evens with Everton before that goal in every possible sense. It's a score that presumably those supporters were expecting. Stevens, 4 Everton players in the area. Richardson. Well, Sharp had come in and nobody had replaced him. If he wanted width, it was on the other side. Vanden Hauwe. Sharp. And we reach half-time with the champions leading by 1 goal to nothing. A goal scored by Gary Lineker. He is 23rd of the season in the 36 minutes. Of course, to both sides as they come off. And although the crowd here is small, the cost of the surveillance continues, and the system here at St Andrews is really very sophisticated indeed. Cameras all around the ground which the police can watch and spot anybody causing any sort of trouble.
Yeah, all unloaded, no problems, a nice friendly crowd at the moment.
Much obliged.
The man in charge is Superintendent Gerald Crisp. I doubt if he's had too much to note other than the fact that Birmingham start the second half a goal down. First free kick of the half to be taken by Jim Hagen. Clark. Free kick against Armstrong, though I have a feeling on that occasion he didn't really make contact with Sharp. Losing out to Richardson, recovered. Space on the right for Stevens. And again, it ran a little kindly. Here's Lineker, and that's his second. Goal coming with only 2 minutes of the half gone. And that really is a death blow, surely, to Birmingham City from a man who got a hat-trick in the meeting between these two sides at Goodison Park earlier in the season. A little bit of luck with the bounce, but once again Lineker showing how quick he is to pounce. Clark, Platnar. Trevor Stephen did well to get across as quickly, but maybe Platnar didn't see the opportunity quickly enough. Birmingham to make their substitution. Andy Kennedy to come on in place of the ex-Evertonian Billy Wright. Kennedy gets into the action with 62 of the 90 minutes passed. Sharp. Tackle of Reese that the referee didn't like. Seaman starts to come forward. And Lineker once again getting there first. Stephen, Richardson. Play by Sharp. Heath, little unlucky. Hagen. Kennedy was onside. Vanden Hauwe back. Platnar didn't make the most of his opportunity. Ransom. Chance for the counter now for Everton. Lineker. Heath. Richardson. Stevens. Ranson. Rees. Ranson. Oh, good save. He'd come forward and had to recover his ground. And turned to face the same way as the ball was going. And clipped it over the top. And smiling a bit about it, Neville Southall. Was it really that close? Armstrong again. Good save again. Really did well then, the Welshman. There were feet all around him. Strong header from Armstrong. And Southall down among the boots. Vanden Houw is the last player in possession. And the result, true to form. Football is not that funny a game. Applause from the Everton supporters for a 2-0 victory for their team. It was a match which proved that endeavour is not enough in the First Division. Try as they would, Birmingham unable to deny Everton, and in particular Gary Lineker, who scored both the goals in the 36th and 47th minutes.
All I can add to that is to wish Birmingham sometime soon a beginning to the end of their problems, and note that Everton are now only 2 points behind United. Now they could be joined by Chelsea, who visited the bottom club West Bromwich Albion and found Nobby Stiles trying to recapture the spirit of days long ago.
Nobby's famous victory jig with the World Cup epitomised his glorious year of '66, during which he won 15 of his 28 England caps without ever once being on a losing side. 20 years on, Nobby occupies the manager's hot seat at West Brom, a job accepted with reluctance after an earlier sacking from Preston, and currently looking as rewarding as running in sand. Albion are rock bottom of Division 1 with just 2 wins all season and only 13 points. Relegation appears unavoidable.
I think it's been desperate from more or less the start. People say, oh, well, you start looking at this, you start looking at... I think the danger is of saying, oh, well, that's it, and just go out and play, and I don't believe that. I believe that anything is... I think you can pull back things.
Albion's target to avoid relegation must be at least 10 victories from the remaining 16 matches, beginning with today's home game against Chelsea. Hunt. Oh, a good ball to find Crooks. Nisbeski thought about coming and changed his mind. And Chelsea will be thankful to pick up the pieces. Lovely ball forward by Hunt. Crooks watching it dropping over his shoulder. Nisbeski looked as if he was going to come off his line, changed his mind, and was happy to pick it up. Chelsea goalkeeper Eddie Nisbeski has been getting really good distance with these kicks. Speedy. Speedy. Nevin. Speedy. Oh, good play. Now here's a good moment for Chelsea. There has to be. Speedy scores his 16th goal of the season, but a goal that illustrates Chelsea's quality. Lovely interplay between Speedy and Nevin, and that stemmed from another of those long goal kicks by Nisbeski. Well, what good control by Speedy, heading it forward and running into the penalty area to plant it past Mark Grew. Chelsea 1, West Brom 0, 20 minutes gone. Carlton Palmer. Well, Mark Grew will be disappointed. This is his first game for West Brom since coming back here on loan from Ipswich and already having conceded a goal. Dixon makes a run. Now Steve Hunt. Oh, good ball. Garth Crooks. Only one man in the middle for him, that's Berardi. On his left side. Garth Crooks back today after 3 weeks' absence with an injured back. But Albion's last chance of the first half. But Nizveski in the Chelsea goal didn't have to move his feet to stop it. McLaughlin finds Dixon, who holds up the defender and keeps possession. He finds Bumstead. Play waved on. This is Spackman. Speedy, and referee slipped. Still Speedy. Colin Pates. Touched on by Dixon. Nevin. Murphy! Once again, Chelsea make it look so easy. They'd had possession of the ball there for several minutes, were turned back several times, and then it was their captain, Colin Pates, who punted it forward to Dixon, who got a touch on, then Nevin, and finally it fell to Jerry Murphy to score his second goal of the season. Murphy. Keith Dublin. Spackman. Nevin in space, having recovered from that knock of a few moments ago. Bumstead and Nevin. Again, good football by Chelsea. Can he get the cross in? He can. Surely it was easier for Speedy to score. Chelsea had done all the hard work. Nevin's speed getting him behind the Albion defenders. Cut it back perfectly to David Speedy, who got right underneath it and put it over the bar. Mercurial little player, Pat Nevin. Palmer. He's done well here, the youngster. Cross came off the heels of Dublin. And it's Pates who brings it out. Nicol. Crooks looked as though he might have been pushed in the back. He was. Referee Keith Cooper of Glamorgan gives the penalty. Well, Garth Crooks looked as if he was about to jump for that, but as he was trying to do so, I think it was Colin Lee, who was standing behind him, who seemed to prevent him. The pair of them ended up on the floor, and Albion have a penalty. Not well struck by Derek Statham, and Nizveski makes the save. Looked as if he was about to jump for that, but as he was trying to do so, I think it was Colin Lee, who was standing behind him, who seemed to prevent him. The pair of them ended up on the floor, and Albion have a penalty. Not well struck by Derek Statham, and Nizveski makes the save. So Albion, bottom of the First Division with only 2 home wins all season, have really only themselves to blame for not giving themselves a glimmer of hope in this match. A ball for Dixon to chase. Forsyth comes across. Oh, and he's made a mess of it. Nevin must be 3, and it stands. Oh, what a disaster for Albion. Having just missed a penalty at the other end, a total hash in defence, and Nevin will not have an easier goal to score all season.
3 more valuable points for Chelsea, who have a game in hand over United and 2 over the Merseyside teams Everton and Liverpool. Perhaps the most important win, though, was Liverpool's 3-1 success against the team in 5th place, West Ham. Ian Rush got one of those goals, his 100th in the league, and Paul Walsh gave another reminder of his international claims by scoring Liverpool's 3rd. By that time, West Ham were down to 10 men, Ray Stewart having been sent off when hotly disputing the penalty from which Jan Molby gave Liverpool the lead after 58 minutes. Sheffield Wednesday and Luton, both winners at home today, are still chasing hard, and along with Forest, moved up 1 place at the expense of Arsenal, who drew at Leicester. Arsenal's North London neighbours, Spurs, lost at home for the 3rd time in 8 days, this time 2-0 against Manchester City, and the Spurs fans were quick to voice their disapproval. Manager Peter Shreve, already under terrific pressure, again showed his courage by saying he was willing to meet the angry fans to talk over the crisis. The really testing time could come next Saturday when Spurs go to 3rd Division Notts County in the 4th round of the FA Cup. But tonight, Peter Shreve said, "I am confident that I will stay as manager of this club, and I am confident I have the total support of the board." The top game in Division 2 saw leaders Norwich beat their nearest rivals Portsmouth 2-0 to go 5 points clear. A crowd of over 20,000 saw Mark Barham and top scorer Kevin Drinkle get the goals in the last 13 minutes. Wimbledon and Charlton both won impressively at home, but Brighton slipped up by drawing 3-3 at home to lowly Middlesbrough. And not a bad day for the bottom clubs in Division 2, with Millwall, Fulham and Carlisle all winning, while Middlesbrough and Huddersfield both drew with teams in the top half of the table. The only change sees Huddersfield move above Oldham. In Division 3, Reading won't be unhappy with their goalless draw at Blackpool or their 18-point lead. Gillingham move into second place after beating Lincoln 2-0, and impressive wins by Wigan 5-0 against Swansea, and Notts County 3-1 at Cardiff will have done their confidence no harm for next week's cup ties against Southampton and Spurs respectively. Derby dropped from 2nd to 5th after drawing at Bournemouth, but they've played 4 games less than the leaders. At the bottom, nothing went right for the clubs in trouble, with Cardiff, Bolton, Swansea, Darlington, Lincoln and Wolves all losing. In the 4th Division, Lou Macari's Swindon Town go back on top after their 1-0 win at Wrexham. The goal came after just 2 minutes, a Colin Gordon penalty. Chester, who won last night, dropped back to 2nd, while Mansfield stay 3rd despite their defeat at Hereford. Sorry there's no jackpot to report on our first Saturday night back, but with 11 scored draws and 2 no-score draws around, dividends will be only moderate. Claim for 24 points, and here are the score draw numbers. 3, 12, 24, 26, 28, 30, 37, 43, 44, 46 and 47.
Well, that's it for tonight, but 2 dates for the diary. Wednesday at 10:15, action from the 5th round of the Milk Cup, and next Saturday at 9:50, match of the day with 3 matches from the 4th round of the FA Cup. That's at 9:50 next Saturday evening. Hopefully the goals will continue to flow as they did today, with a brace apiece from Gary Lineker, Colin Walsh and Jesper Olsen, whose second was perhaps the day's best, but he still ended up on the losing side. That's football for you. Good night.
Goodman to Whiteside. Stapleton. Strachan. Good cross and a chance for Olsen.
Heath's come forward. And comfortably in by Gary Lineker. And again it ran a little kindly. Here's Lineker.
Davenport. Oh, and a chance for Walsh and a goal. Davenport. And that looked as if there might have been an offside there, but the flag isn't up and Walsh is through. And against the post and in.